Welcome back. Today we explore the value of these most valuable wheat pennies that could be worth huge pennies, money. So let's get started. First up, the 1934 Abraham Lincoln Wheat 1 cent coin holds a unique place in U.S. history and numismatics. Struck during the Great Depression, this coin features a large date on the obverse and no mint mark, signaling it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. During the early 1930s, the U.S. was dealing with severe economic challenges, and this coin reflects that tumultuous period. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series was first introduced in 1909, designed by sculptor Victor David Brennan. Lincoln's image on the penny represented not only a prominent political figure, but also a connection to the country's Civil War history. By 1934, the design was already a familiar symbol of American currency. Yet the coin's composition and its minting decisions during the Great Depression would influence its future rarity and desirability. The 1934 Lincoln Wheat Penny is notable for its mintage of over 300 million coins. While this may seem like a high number, the fact that it was produced in large quantities does not necessarily detract from its value today. The rarity of a coin is determined not just by mintage, but by the survival rate and demand for that particular year and type." End quote. In fine condition, these coins have a relatively higher survival rate compared to their counterparts from the same period, making them more accessible to collectors, but still valuable due to their historical context. The 1934 large date without a mint mark, particularly in fine condition, is considered a key date for collectors of the Wheat Penny series. The lack of a mint mark signals that it was minted in Philadelphia, which differentiates it from coins produced in Denver or San Francisco that year. The collector demand for these coins is driven by both their historical value and their aesthetic appeal. The 1934 Lincoln Wheat Penny features a simple yet iconic design. The obverse of the coin depicts the right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, based on a famous photograph of the president. Above Lincoln's portrait is the inscription "Liberty" with the date 1934 below it. The large date on this coin is one of the most notable design features, as it stands out in comparison to other years in the series, making it easy for collectors to identify. On the reverse of the coin you'll find two wheat stalks, which symbolize the agricultural roots of the United States. The phrase "United States of America" arches across the top, while "E pluribus unum" out of many, one is inscribed above the wheat. The coin's denomination, 1 cent, is prominently featured at the bottom. The clean lines and bold details of the design make it a favorite among collectors and are indicative of the craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint during the 1930s. In today's market, the 1934 Lincoln Wheat Penny large date without mint mark in fine condition can fetch anywhere from $68,300, depending on the coin's specific quality within the fine range. While it's not one of the rarest coins in the series, the collector interest remains high due to its historical significance and the large number of collectors pursuing various Lincoln Wheat Pennies. The value of this coin has been steadily increasing over time, particularly as interest in coin collecting has grown. Many collectors focus on obtaining a complete set of Lincoln Wheat Pennies, and the 1934 large date is an essential piece of that collection. The appeal of this coin goes beyond just the collectors. It's also a great entry-level piece for those starting to invest in rare U.S. currency. Market fluctuations also come into play with these coins. The value of the 1934 penny is heavily influenced by the overall state of the coin market, with peaks in interest corresponding to periods of heightened demand or historical interest. However, even in fluctuating markets, this penny continues to be a stable piece with a strong demand base. As with many popular U.S. coins, the 1934 Lincoln Wheat Penny is subject to errors that can significantly increase its value. One notable error is the doubled die variety, which occurs when the die that strikes the coin makes multiple impressions. This leads to doubling of certain design elements, such as the date or the inscriptions, making the coin highly collectible. Another potential error could be the off-center strike, which happens when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, leading to a misaligned design. These error coins can be worth significantly more than the standard issue due to their rarity and uniqueness. Collectors often keep a close eye out for these errors, as they are considered highly desirable for numismatic collections. The presence of such errors on a 1934 Lincoln penny can elevate its value, sometimes to hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the severity and nature of the mistake. Next up, the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny was struck during a period of post-World War II prosperity in the United States, a time of economic growth and cultural change. The 1950s marked the end of the Korean War and the beginning of the Cold War, which influenced the national mood and, in turn, the way money was viewed. The 1957 coin, much like its predecessors, was designed to honor Abraham Lincoln, one of the most revered figures in U.S. history. By 1957, the design of the Lincoln wheat penny had become iconic, and the series was nearing its end. The reverse design with the two wheat stalks was in its final years before being replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. For many collectors, the 1957 penny represents the end of an era. In terms of mintage, the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny was produced in extremely high numbers, with over 1 billion coins struck. However, despite this large mintage, the coin's value in circulated condition continues to hold its ground among collectors. The fact that these coins are often found in circulated condition adds to their story and allure. The lack of a mint mark indicates that the coin was minted in Philadelphia, which makes it part of a broader pattern of coins produced during that year. Though the coin is relatively common, its condition, whether circulated or in higher grades, greatly impacts its value. A circulated coin in good condition may not fetch as much as one in higher grades, but it still carries significant numismatic value due to its connection to history and its place within the Lincoln wheat series. Much like the 1934 coin, the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny showcases the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln. This portrait was created by Victor David Brenner and is based on an image of Lincoln that was familiar to Americans. The clean, simple design of the coin still speaks to the themes of unity and democracy that Lincoln stood for during his lifetime. On the reverse side, the two wheat stalks symbolize the country's agricultural roots, which was a reminder of the United States' foundation in farming and rural life. The inscription, United States of America, and E Pluribus Unum are found on the reverse as well, adding to the historical weight of the design. The 1957 Lincoln wheat penny is among the most collected coins in the entire Lincoln wheat penny series. Due to its high mintage, it is considered relatively common in circulated condition. The value typically ranges between $10,000 for a coin in average circulated condition. However, higher grade examples, or those with unique characteristics such as error coins, can see their value rise dramatically. Despite the high mintage, collectors and investors still show great interest in the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny due to its historical context and its place in the broader Lincoln penny series. In particular, it is a favorite of those attempting to complete their Lincoln wheat set. Just like the 1934 Lincoln wheat penny, the 1957 coin is subject to error types that can dramatically increase its value. A doubled die error is one of the most sought-after mistakes, and it can occur in various parts of the design, including the date or inscriptions. Additionally, off-center strikes and other misprints can also elevate the coin's worth. Another variation of the 1957 penny is the proof-like coin. These coins, while struck for collectors, often have a mirror-like finish that makes them visually striking. Though not a true error, proof-like coins can still command a higher price due to their distinct look. Lincoln wheat pennies are rich with historical context, design appeal, and significant value. As you continue your journey in numismatics, these coins will no doubt remain at the forefront of your collection due to their unique features and market interest. Whether you're a collector or investor, these coins are great examples of how history and artistry come together in a small, yet powerful, piece of American heritage. Next up, the 1937 Abraham Wheat 1-cent coin was struck at a time when the U.S. economy was still recovering from the Great Depression. This was the era of President Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal, aimed at stabilizing the economy and creating jobs. Despite the national hardships, the 1937 penny is an example of the ongoing innovation in U.S. coin design and production. The Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny series, which was introduced in 1909, has been a collector's favorite for more than a century. The coin features the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse, symbolizing the nation's agriculture. Designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, this penny is one of the most iconic and enduring pieces of American coinage. In 1937, there were no major alterations to the design of the penny. The coin still featured Lincoln's image, and the reverse had the 2 stalks of wheat, which were a hallmark of the series. But the value of this particular coin, especially in fine condition, is driven not just by its historical context, but also by the rarity of finding it in such a well-preserved state. In today's auction market, a 1937 Abraham Wheat penny without a mint mark in fine condition can command impressive prices. The coin's value fluctuates depending on various factors, including its grade, provenance, and the specific auction at which it's sold. On average, a coin in fine condition can range from $56,000, but rarer, higher-graded coins may push the value much higher, especially in high-demand markets. Factors such as overall mintage, demand from collectors, and the condition of the coin play an essential role in its market price. When compared to other coins from the 1930s, the 1937 penny holds a strong position, especially as more collectors focus on specific years or mint marks in their collection. The mintage for the 1937 Abraham Wheat penny was substantial, with over 100 million coins produced across all mints. This large mintage means that most 1937 pennies are still in circulation today, but it also contributes to why finding one in fine condition is considered rare. In fact, most of these pennies have been heavily worn, damaged, or altered due to their extensive use during the Depression era and World War II. However, the lack of a mint mark on a 1937 penny means that it was likely struck at the Philadelphia Mint. This further differentiates the coin, making it slightly rarer than pennies from other years with a mint mark. The 1937 Abraham Wheat penny features the iconic design by Victor David Brenner. The obverse shows a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln with the inscriptions Liberty and the year of minting 1937. The reverse features 2 stalks of wheat with the words United States of America and E Pluribus Unum along the top and bottom. The 1-cent inscription is centered between the wheat stalks. Collectors often appreciate the clean, sharp lines on the obverse of a fine-condition 1937 penny. When the coin is properly graded, the details of Lincoln's features and the clarity of the wheat stalks are still visible, which adds to its desirability. There are no major errors specifically associated with the 1937 Abraham Wheat penny without a mint mark, but there are minor variations that could attract the attention of serious collectors. For instance, slight die cracks, off-center strikes, or other anomalies might increase a coin's value even further. These errors can cause a dramatic increase in the coin's worth due to their scarcity and uniqueness. Despite not being as rare as some other years, the 1937 penny still draws significant collector interest, particularly among those building a comprehensive set of Lincoln pennies or individuals searching for high-grade specimens. The sheer number of pennies minted in this year ensures that collectors have plenty of opportunities to find this coin, though most will not be in the condition necessary for premium value. Next up, The 1947 Abraham wheat penny marks a post-WWI era where the U.S. economy was experiencing a period of growth and transition. After the hardships of the war, the U.S. minted large numbers of coins to help fuel the expanding economy. This was also a time when the mint was improving its production techniques to handle the growing demand for currency. The 1947 penny features the same classic design by Victor David Brenner as previous years. However, the year 1947 is notable for a few key factors, including the use of the large date style, which is often referenced by collectors when comparing pennies from this year. The design on the 1947 Abraham wheat penny is nearly identical to that of other years in the series. The obverse features the well-known portrait of Abraham Lincoln with Liberty and the year 1947 inscribed. The coin's major difference lies in the large date, where the numerals for 1947 appear much larger than in other years. This has become a recognizable feature for coin collectors, though it doesn't drastically affect the overall value, unless the coin is in pristine condition. The value of a 1947 large date penny with a D mint mark in dirty condition is somewhat challenging to assess due to its specific state. Typically, coins in dirty condition suffer a significant drop in value because dirt, corrosion, and other contaminants can obscure the fine details, diminishing the coin's appeal to collectors. However, despite its condition, the 1947 penny with the D mint mark is still valued higher than other more common versions from the same period. Depending on the extent of the dirt and damage, prices can vary. A coin in very fine condition could be worth anywhere from $30,000, but dirty coins may be sold at auction for lower prices unless they feature rare errors or unique features that catch the eye of serious buyers. In 1947, the U.S. Mint produced well over 100 million pennies, with a large portion of those featuring the D mint mark. The Denver Mint struck the largest number of pennies that year, making the 1947 D mint variety the most common of the group. However, finding one in clean, high-grade condition can be tricky, and that's what gives even the dirty versions a bit of intrinsic value. While the mintage was high, the amount of 1947 pennies that survived in fine or better condition is relatively low, further driving demand among collectors. Error coins from this period are generally less common, but there are still a few that make waves in the market. A double die error, where the coin was struck twice by the die, is one such example that increases interest among collectors. Even in dirty condition, these coins can fetch a premium if they are identified and authenticated correctly. The large date style is a favorite among collectors, particularly those who are putting together a full set of wheat pennies or focusing on a specific year or mint mark. Even in a less than ideal state, a 1947 penny still holds considerable interest. So, there you have it. The 1947 large date with a D mint mark in dirty condition. This is valuable in its own right, with the value being influenced by factors such as rarity, condition, and collector demand. Next up, we are diving into one of the most sought-after coins in the Lincoln Wheat Penny series, the 1946 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny with an S mint mark in circulated condition. This particular coin is not just any ordinary penny. It carries a unique value based on its historical significance, its minting process, and its place within the larger context of American numismatics. 1946 marked an important time in U.S. history. The end of World War II was still fresh in the memory of the American public, and the country was transitioning into a peacetime economy. The American government was focused on rebuilding and ensuring stability after the war. For coin collectors, this time was also marked by the end of wartime restrictions on coin production. The 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny was the first penny minted in large quantities after the war, a symbol of renewal and hope for a better future. The design of the 1946 Lincoln wheat penny continued the tradition set by the famous sculptor Victor David Brenner, who designed the original Lincoln penny in 1909. This design includes the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse, which is why it is referred to as the wheat penny. The S mint mark indicates that this coin was minted in San Francisco, one of the primary mints in the United States. The obverse features Abraham Lincoln, facing right, with the inscription, "In God We Trust, Liberty, and the Year of Minting, 1946. The reverse shows 2 sheaves of wheat, which have long been interpreted as symbols of prosperity and hard work. The motto, A pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, and the coin's denomination, 1 cent, are displayed prominently on this side. Now, when it comes to the value of the 1946 Lincoln wheat penny with an S mint mark, it's important to consider the mintage. The total number of 1946 pennies produced at the San Francisco Mint was quite significant, with over 282 million of them being struck. This high mintage means that, in general, these coins are not rare by most standards. However, the market value can fluctuate significantly depending on the coin's condition. In circulated condition, which refers to coins that have been used in daily transactions, the value of the 1946 S penny can range from $1,000 to around $26,000 depending on factors like wear and clarity of the mint mark. But don't let that fool you. There is still demand among collectors for this particular penny. However, when in better conditions, such as fine, very fine, or even higher, the value of the 1946 S penny increases significantly. In recent auctions, high-grade examples of this coin have been known to fetch anywhere from $48,000 or more, especially when they have been well preserved and show minimal wear. Collectors, as we know, are always looking for coins with errors or unique features. The 1946 penny, while generally not known for major errors, still captures the attention of coin enthusiasts for its unique historical place in the post-war era. Occasionally, you'll come across a 1946 penny that displays minor minting errors like slight die cracks or doubled dies, which can increase its value significantly. These errors are often highly sought after by both novice and experienced collectors. Beyond errors, the 1946 S penny is also popular for its design, which, while still part of the long-standing wheat penny series, serves as a reflection of the optimism of the 1940s. It represents the end of wartime hardship and the hope that America would thrive in the years to come. So why does the 1946 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with the S mint mark in circulated condition continue to be valuable among collectors today? Its historical significance, unique post-war context, and design features make it a fascinating coin to own. While not as rare as some other coins from the era, its continued interest in the market shows that people still appreciate its value, both for its place in American history and as part of the iconic Lincoln wheat penny series. Next up, let's shift our focus to another gem in the Lincoln wheat penny series, the 1951 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with an S mint mark. This coin, minted 5 years after the 1946 penny, offers a different perspective on the post-war era and the U.S. Mint's efforts during the early 1950s. In 1951, the U.S. was still experiencing a post-war economic boom, and the country was firmly planted in the era of the baby boom. The 1951 Lincoln wheat penny was struck during a period of tremendous growth and technological innovation. The U.S. Mint, still churning out coins for circulation, was committed to providing the nation with consistent coinage to support the growing economy. The design of the 1951 S penny remained consistent with the iconic wheat design that had graced the Lincoln cent since 1909. This continuity made the 1951 coin a link between the past and future, bridging the historical gap between World War II and the modern era. On the obverse, we see President Abraham Lincoln in profile, with the familiar inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the year 1951. The reverse features the well-known 2 stalks of wheat, with "E pluribus unum" and 1 cent displayed prominently. The S mint mark, located beneath the 1 cent denomination, indicates that the coin was struck at the San Francisco Mint. The 1951 penny also has a notable mintage, with over 204 million coins produced at the San Francisco Mint. However, this number is still quite high, which means that most 1951 pennies are relatively affordable, even in fine condition. The 1951 penny in fine condition, like the 1946 SS penny, typically fetches a price of between $100,000. But the market value of these coins can rise significantly when you find examples in higher grade conditions, such as very fine or extra fine. Coins with exceptional eye appeal, minimal wear, and sharp details can command higher prices. Auctions have seen some of these coins reach prices upwards of $110,000 in recent years, particularly when they are sold with certificates of authenticity. Like the 1946 S penny, the 1951 penny is of great interest to error coin collectors. While the 1951 S penny does not feature any major error varieties, small mistakes such as die cracks or a misaligned die can add substantial value to the coin. These types of errors, although subtle, attract attention because they are relatively rare and can make a coin more unique and desirable. Collectors appreciate the 1951 Lincoln wheat penny for its design, historical significance, and the potential for discovering errors. Additionally, this penny, being a part of the well-known wheat series, is a collector favorite, particularly among those who are focused on completing a full set of Lincoln pennies. The 1951 Lincoln wheat penny with the S mint mark is another example of how a seemingly common coin can carry significant value when viewed through the lens of its historical context and its place in the broader world of coin collecting. Whether it's the coin's striking design or its appeal as part of the Lincoln wheat penny series, collectors continue to seek out this coin for its beauty, rarity, and potential for growth in the market. Next up, the 1944 Lincoln wheat cent holds a prominent place in the history of U.S. coinage. It stands as a testament to a period of great change in both the United States and the world. The year 1944 was in the midst of World War II, and the country's economic and political landscape was greatly shaped by the war effort. As a result, the U.S. Mint faced unique challenges in producing coinage during this time. The 1944 Lincoln wheat cent was produced in a time when copper was a critical material needed for munitions during the war. To conserve copper, the U.S. Mint began using steel and zinc-coated steel for the Lincoln cent in 1943. However, with the end of the war in 1943, copper production resumed, and the Lincoln wheat cent was once again struck in solid copper. This transition back to copper led to a notable change in the coin's composition, which would eventually contribute to the coin's value. In 1944, the United States Mint produced a massive number of Lincoln wheat cents, nearly 1.5 billion of them, across all mint locations. However, the specific coin we're discussing here, the 1944 Lincoln wheat cent without a mint mark, was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Coins from this mint carry no mint mark, unlike those produced in Denver or San Francisco. The sheer quantity of the 1944 cents means that many are readily available to collectors. However, the condition of the coin is crucial to its value. The 1944 Lincoln wheat cent retained the classic design that had been used since 1909. The obverse features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln by sculptor Victor David Brenner, facing right. Behind Lincoln is the inscription "Liberty," and above his head is "In God We Trust." The date 1944 is situated below his bust. One of the defining features of this coin is its relatively large size compared to modern pennies. The design elements, with Lincoln on the front and the wheat stalks on the back, are elegantly simple but timeless. The 1944 Lincoln wheat cent without a mint mark in good condition holds a moderate market value compared to other years and mint marks. On average, you can expect this coin to sell for anywhere between $26,500 depending on the condition and specific auction dynamics. While this may seem like a modest price, it's essential to understand that the value fluctuates with collector demand and the coin's preservation. However, when you come across a 1944 Lincoln wheat cent in higher grades, such as very fine or extra fine, the price can soar into the $30,000 to $50,000, and coins in mint state (MS) grades can fetch up to $100,000 or more in auction settings. Collectors particularly seek out coins that have been well preserved, showing minimal wear on Lincoln's portrait and the wheat stalks. The condition is paramount in determining the auction price, and coins that feature minimal discoloration and no significant damage are highly sought after. While the 1944 Lincoln wheat cent is not particularly famous for errors, there have been a few rare cases of misstrikes and double D varieties that have piqued the interest of collectors. A well-known error coin from 1944 is the 1944 steel cent, which, though produced in 1943, is often mistakenly attributed to 1943. This is extremely rare and valuable, and it represents a unique error where steel was mistakenly used instead of copper. Another potential error worth noting involves die clashes and double strikes, but these errors are far less common in 1944 compared to other years. Finding a well-preserved, error-free coin will likely offer the highest value at auction. The 1944 Lincoln wheat cent holds significant interest among both seasoned collectors and new enthusiasts. Its historical context, especially with the return to copper after the wartime steel coins, makes it a fascinating piece for any collection. Furthermore, because of the high mintage, these coins are often among the first ones collected by those new to numismatics, making them an iconic starting point. Next up, the 1953 Lincoln wheat cent continues the legacy of this historic series, offering a more recent glimpse into the fascinating journey of U.S. coinage. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the 1953 cent also does not bear a mint mark, making it easily distinguishable from those struck in other mint locations, such as Denver and San Francisco. This particular coin is noteworthy due to its large date variety and its condition, with its red coloration and dirty appearance. By 1953, the United States had moved far beyond the challenges of the war years. The economy had recovered, and the U.S. Mint had returned to more routine operations. However, the design of the Lincoln wheat cent remained largely unchanged since its introduction in 1909. By this time, the coin was firmly entrenched in American currency, serving as a daily form of currency, and Abraham Lincoln's legacy was well established in the minds of Americans. Though the country had recovered from the turmoil of World War II, the political climate was still charged with the Cold War. The 1950s were a time of great change as the U.S. economy boomed and new technologies and cultural shifts emerged. Coins like the 1953 Lincoln cent would circulate in the hands of millions of Americans, each one helping to support the country's rapidly growing infrastructure. In 1953, the U.S. Mint produced just over 1 billion Lincoln wheat cents, with the Philadelphia Mint being the primary producer of coins that year. As with most of the Lincoln wheat cents, the vast majority were used in daily transactions, which is why finding them in mint state or even fine condition can be quite challenging today. The large date variety, however, has caught the attention of collectors due to its distinctive appearance. The reverse features the well-known wheat stalk design, flanked by the words United States of America and E Pluribus Unite. The coin's large date feature refers to the way the 5 and 3 of the year 1953 are spaced further apart than the standard date size used in other years, making this variation highly recognizable to collectors. Although the 1953 Lincoln wheat cent is one of the more common coins in the series, its value can fluctuate based on condition. In dirty red-colored or lower-grade examples, the market value remains low, typically around $1 to $3. However, collectors seeking high-grade examples, especially those in mint state MS or near mint state MS60, will find these coins commanding more attention. In fine or better grades, this coin may fetch between $17,000. Coins in higher grades, particularly MS65 or better, can see auction prices surge beyond $18,000, particularly if they are uncirculated and boast the large date feature. While the 1953 Lincoln wheat cent is known for its large date, this does not imply a significant error. However, misstrikes, double die reverses, and die cracks have occasionally been spotted on 1953 coins, adding to their rarity and value. A coin with one of these errors may increase in market value by several times the typical auction price. Collectors of Lincoln wheat cents often seek the 1953 large date as part of completing a comprehensive set. Additionally, coins that have distinct visual elements, like the red tone or unique appearance of a certain coin, can attract further attention. The cleanliness of a coin's surface is a key consideration for collectors, especially for coins with noticeable discoloration or dirt. However, coins in well-preserved condition can be sold at premium prices, particularly to specialized collectors. Both the 1944 Lincoln wheat cent without a mint mark and the 1953 large-date Lincoln wheat cent are important coins for collectors and investors alike. Whether they're sought after for their historical context, unique errors, or simply as part of a complete Lincoln wheat collection, these coins continue to hold significant value in the market today. Always remember, condition is key, and collectors will always seek the best preserved examples of these beloved US coins. Next up, the 1950 Lincoln wheat cent, particularly the version with the demint mark, stands as a prominent example of mid-20th century American coinage. It was struck during a period when the US economy was transitioning from the post-war boom into the early Cold War era. This period marked the beginning of new technological advances, which influenced many industries including the US Mint. Though the 1950s are often remembered for cultural change, the 1950 Lincoln penny is a fascinating piece of American history. The Lincoln wheat penny, first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln's centennial birth anniversary, remained in circulation until 1958. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the wheat penny features a portrait of President Lincoln on the obverse and two stalks of wheat on the reverse. This simple yet elegant design made the coin one of the most iconic in American history. The 1950 coin is particularly special because it came at a time when the US Mint was busy preparing for the larger changes that would happen with the introduction of the Lincoln Memorial Cent in 1959. While the 1950 wheat penny might seem commonplace to some, its rarity in higher grades and the collector demand for well-preserved examples contribute to its high market value today. In 1950, a total of 2,3,2,1,5,8,000 Lincoln pennies were minted at the Denver Mint, indicated by the D mint mark. While this mintage number is relatively high compared to some other years of the series, it's the condition of the coin that impacts its value in the marketplace. Coins in good condition, with clear details and minimal wear, are considerably more valuable. Coins with more wear, such as those in fair or poor condition, are much less valuable than their counterparts in higher grades. However, even in a good condition, the 1950 D penny holds significant value due to its desirability among collectors. It's important to note that the 1950 D Lincoln penny is rare in mint state grades, and it can be considered a key date for collectors focused on assembling high-grade sets of the Lincoln wheat penny series. The design of the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny is quite similar to that of earlier years. On the obverse, we see Abraham Lincoln's iconic portrait facing right, with the inscription Liberty and the date 1950. Above Lincoln's head is the motto, "In God We Trust," a feature that has been consistent across most of the US coinage of the 20th century. And when they are printed, these wheat stalks are simple yet symbolically important, representing the agricultural roots of the United States during the early 20th century. For the 1950 D. Lincoln penny, it's the sharpness of the wheat stalks and the clarity of the Lincoln portrait that matter most. Coins with high-definition details are always in demand and are more sought after in the numismatic market. The 1950 D. Lincoln penny is not particularly known for significant error coins, but that doesn't mean there are no variations worth mentioning. The most common errors found on Lincoln pennies from this era are struck-throughs, where foreign debris gets trapped between the die and the coin during the minting process, causing a design flaw. These errors, while not always highly valuable, can increase the worth of a coin among collectors who specialize in mint errors. Another variant to keep an eye out for is the possible over-polished die, which can affect the design's detail. These subtle errors can make a huge difference in value, and as always, coins with noticeable defects or errors are highly collectible. The 1950 D. Lincoln wheat penny, in good condition, has seen an increase in value in recent years, driven by rising interest in collecting coins from the mid-20th century. Though its mintage is relatively high, well-preserved examples are sought after by collectors who are trying to complete their Lincoln wheat cent sets. On the auction market, the 1950 D penny in good condition can fetch anywhere from $2 to $5, depending on the specific details of the coin. For coins in better condition, such as those in fine or very fine grades, the value can climb higher, reaching $62,000 or more. If the coin is graded as mint state by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC, prices can soar to $52,000 or even higher. Investors have also begun to take notice of coins like the 1950 D. Lincoln penny, due to its limited availability in higher grades. As the coin continues to appreciate, it remains a steady, reliable option for those looking to expand their numismatic portfolios. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave your comments below. And as always, keep hunting for those rare treasures.